How you doing?
Yeah, going well. I suppose not really shocked, to be honest.
No, we talked about it earlier, Sats and I. Brad Arthur, he's been a good servant for Parramatta. He's coached, got him to a premiership, grand final. But they're such a big powerhouse club. And I was talking about this, boys, like at what point, like with the Sharks, when I played for the Sharks before they'd won a premiership, I felt like as good or as bad as we went, the fans were just always so nice and they were just content for us to try our best, you know?
Yep.
And then, like, at what point do your fans become like that? When you haven't won for so long, do they just want you to compete? And I don't think Parramatta are prepared to let their fans get to that point. Now, the Sharks fans aren't like that anymore. They're certainly not like that. But, you never want to get into that position where your club is, you're just content with, being thereabouts. And it seems like that's just Parramatta's way, isn't it? They've just been thereabouts and they need something to kick them into gear.
So, boys, in the cab queue, where's Brad Arthur now? So you've got promising types like Josh Hannay. You've got Demetrio, who's had a bit of a crack. Justin Holbrook, of course. Where's Brad Arthur now in the coaching cab rank?
I think he's got another job.
Yeah, he
not
does.
now, but
I
I think sooner rather than later than the other guys that you've met, that you've mentioned. Yeah,
I think Brad Arthur, if he'd gone to St George this year, like Shane Flanagan, I think Brad Arthur gets the results that Shane Flanagan's getting at St George.
Yep, right.
I think he's he's that hard-nosed, tough coach that when you're trying to get a team moving forward, well, maybe Parramatta might take Wayne Bennett now, and Brad Arthur might go to the Eels.
Have they made that decision today, thinking they've still got a bit of a sniff with Wayne, or have they had? Is that the reason why they've made it so sudden today, and not maybe over the next couple of days?
Well, I believe so, but Fletcher's got it 60-40 South Sydney versus Parramatta for the Wayne Bennett signature.
Yep.
What do you boys genuinely believe? I'm more leaning the way of Parramatta that Wayne will be there. I just think the coincidence of having been in Magic Round, the Parramatta hierarchy being up there in Brisbane.
And he came out publicly and said, I haven't signed with South when that story broke.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I said that to Woogie because he was, crowing about you having Wayne Bennett. I said, mate, he hasn't signed anything yet. We just saw the David Fetus fiasco.
It would be a Wayne decision to all of a sudden go on the left pathway and just send everyone off the scent. But, I've got to say, there's a guy in England called Sean Wayne. Did you have him, Fletch?
Yeah, I had Wayne. He's now...
He's the English coach.
Coaching England, yeah.
No, rugby or league?
League. Pepper Wigan.
Tremendous
he was
coach.
like a really tough sort of taskmaster, but a good bloke.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a lot of Graham Murray.
Right.
When I had Graham Murray
coaching
it. Yeah, coaching the Chooks. Like, tough, but really fair, and it was all about getting the team together. But that was,
when we were putting together that 17th license for the Western Corridor bid, I did a lot of research, had a lot of interviews with people that have been coached by us, and trying to put some assistance in place for Wayne as the head coach, who's going to take over year 3. And in the top 3 was Sean Wayne. All the feedback I got from people in the UK, people who knew him, had played under him, had worked with him, it was just they just couldn't wax lyrical enough about this guy and how he should be given a shot in the NRL. They convinced me.
Hey, boys, what about this, right? So Brad Arthur wakes up tomorrow with the first day in the last 11 years where he's not a head coach.
Yep.
And he wakes up to his 50th birthday. What about the timing for that? He turns 50 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Does he check his bank account and see whether the money's been deposited yet or not?
$1.5 mil.
Right.
It's a good 50. It's a good 50th present.
It'll be a big 50th.
Yeah. No offence, Brett, but I got a rank watch. I would like to. What about this? What about if New South Wales win the series?
Yeah.
And Madge just says, "Right, I'm ready to go back in. I'm ready to go back in."
Well, I'm
the
a
NRL.
Madge fan. You're always getting a yes from me.
Yeah, well, Madge is that type of coach, isn't he? He's that hard edge.
Definitely.
Like, sort of you need. But maybe Parramatta don't need that. Maybe they don't need that. They need someone that's a bit more sort of Craig Fitzgibbon-like.
Fitzy can be tough.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't got that hard edge to him. Like, I mean, he's hard. He's got a hard edge. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't play out externally.
Yeah.
Like his players love him. I mean, I've been in the dressing room with Fitzy after they've just been pumped, and the way he talks to the players, I was thinking, geez, are we going to get a bit more emotion here? Are we going to rip into them? But didn't happen. But that's the way he does things. You
can't do that anymore, Rat. You lose the dressing room, as they say.
I think that's a load of rubbish.
Righto, boys. What was your favourite moment of Magic Round? Fletch, I'll start with you.
What was my just the Warriors fans again?
Yeah,
it's 2 years in a row. They're just into it.
They're outstanding, aren't they?
They come over here and they're always so polite.
Yep.
They always say please and thank you. Some other people, not so much, not so polite.
I tell you what, boys, I shared this earlier. I called the game with you blokes. The Viking clap that was participated by not just Raiders. Like, if you weren't a Bulldogs fan, you were doing the Viking clap.
Yeah.
That was some game, wasn't it?
Oh, we were lucky to call that. The kick-off Magic Round, it was outstanding. I lost my voice, actually. It's only just come back today. And my favourite moment was what you were just talking about then, the Viking clap after full time. But to be down 11 man and watching, and we were lucky enough to watch Ricky on the sideline. And Fletch, you've been there with Ricky and how passionate he is about his playing group. But when the full-time hooter went, he didn't run to his players on the bench. The players on the bench ran to him to celebrate, which is a pretty big sign.
Yeah, I'm taking a lot of credit for that win.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I crowed.
Oh, you crowed really early, didn't you?
Yeah, I crowed.
He said Doggies win by 20 more.
Doggies are home, and so I'll take credit for that.
Yep.
I'll let Rick know when we speak to him tomorrow. But
what was your favourite moment, Brett?
Well, my favourite moment, and this has got a lot to do with the last couple of weeks.
You can't mention the cashies that you got over the weekend.
the last couple of weeks on radio, I've been getting peppered by Rooster Muzz and Bondi Jack and Cam and Adrian, all giving it to me about Cronulla being flat track bullies and they can't beat the top team. So my favourite moment was watching the Sharks win, not because they won, but just so I can't wait for our radio show to start so I can absolutely give it to these blokes for the next hour on radio.
Oh, you know what my other moment was? The returns, like some of the guns that came back.
Oh, yeah.
And blast themselves immediately. Oh, the hammer. What about the hammer?
Yeah.
Mate,
they can't get anywhere near him. It is hammer time. Tabuai for no. Welcome back. The Dolphins finally get their third.
That's karma.
Hey, I got a crap stat, guys, too.
Yeah.
The Dolphins finally get their third.
That's karma.
Oh, it's
That's karma.
Who's
what?
that? Who's that? Is that
That's karma.
Is that Sads?
I said that's karma.
Oh,
that's been ordered. That's been edited. That has.
So I ran into Herbie.
Yeah.
The great Herbie Farnsworth. Very attractive sort of kid. And he was telling, he was there with his, I think it might have been his manager or his mate or something. And they were talking about, so he's been clocked this year. Clocked by the time as top speed in the NRL this year.
Did he tell you that?
Yep.
He told you that.
The hammer.
Did he?
No, Herbie.
He's talked about himself doing that.
No, no. In the context of it, we were talking.
Well, what was? Tell us the context.
Yeah, I'd like to know how this came up. How did this come up?
Because at the moment he's an A grade for saying it.
No. How's the injury been?
Yeah.
You know, what were you doing on the training?
Yep.
Blah blah. Talking small talk, mate. Is there a chance you might be first try scorer tomorrow? If you are, just wink once. How's it all been going? He's still been able to run. He goes, yeah. And I've been doing extra sprints. And I said, oh, that's pretty good. Why? Do you need to work on your pace? And he goes, well, I thought I did. But then I was told that I was clocked so far this year the fastest top speed.
Wow.
38 or 39.
Telstra Tracker.
Yeah, the Telstra Tracker, the TT.
Wow.
I'll tell you who I was really impressed with over the weekend. And, like in his 4 weeks of first grade football, he has just done amazing things as David Armstrong.
Yeah.
So where did they play him?
Lose
when
Kalen Ponga, and everyone thinks their season's over. He's played 4 games and they've won 4.
Is it just unfortunate he's just got to go back to New South Wales Cup? When
Sugar wants to put KP at 6.
Oh, I think I would.
He wants to go
just
back
in
to
their
the well.
scenario.
Back to the well.
Yeah, just in their scenario. They need points.
Yeah.
Last year, had Dom Young running around.
I like that.
I know they'll say, oh, yeah, it wasn't ideal, but I think, what do you boys think?
Just a moment.
Like
you have moments where he just got his head in the wrong position a couple of times. Just don't do it again.
Yeah. We've got to tackle your shoulder, not your forehead.
It helps.
It does help. Hey, I mean, this is good talking rugby league, but my favourite thing is the Summitt.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got me.
Let's play, baby. Let's play.
It's got me, Rat.
Hey, Fletch, tonight is all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight's
Is
all
that
time.
all right?
They start turning on the Rat tonight.
No one dare would turn on the Rat.
Well,
they do.
we'll see what happens when they do.
But ask me this, riddle me this, Rat.
Yeah.
Why did you, and not just you, but your other participants?
Yep.
Why did you spend $1,000 on a cup of coffee?
Oh, mate, because if you don't, like, there's no show. Right?
Oh, okay.
Like you got,
Okay.
if you want to be in the show, you got to do stuff in the show that ruffles some feathers.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So it's when they asked me to do the show, and that, like, I went in there knowing, like, I'm not going to win this thing. I'm just going to go in there and have some fun and just ruffle some feathers and just, see what happens. So and that's what I did. So I had a coffee. Paid
So
$1,000 for
I've done a few of these shows before, and I got a nickname called The Godfather.
Talk about A
because I
grades.
would call for people to be voted out, and we'd vote them out.
So, Rat, you went in this with just thinking about entertainment.
Yep.
Is that all you did?
That's all I did. Went in it thinking I'm just going to go in, have fun. And, mate, it was the most spectacular thing I've done, I've got to tell you. It was
Okay, well, because this is other footage of you. This is early in the season. This is you.
I want you to like me for me, not because I have a penis.
See, when you said that, I thought that might have ostracised a few people. You can't be doing You can't be doing that.
No.
And I'm trying to work it out. Is it half celebrities?
Nah, I think last year it was a bit of it ended up rating all right at the back end of it, but it was a real slow burn. So they chucked a few people in there. Like I didn't know any of them, and I don't think any of them knew who I was either. But there are some people that have had a bit of a history in the public eye. But there's no like A grade celebrities in there. Well, there is A grades in there, but there's no A grade celebrities.
and after you've been on these reality shows. Do you get together like for a Mad Monday? Or do you get together for a Triple
Fletch,
Way?
can I just paint the scene for you? Like in between segments on our show, he's answering all these WhatsApp groups between all these different people. Do you or do you not have a WhatsApp group?
No.
You're always talking to one of the girls.
No. I talk to a few.
Yeah.
I talk to Tay.
Yeah.
I talk to Phil.
Yeah.
And I talk to Simone.
So that's a yes.
Are they all in the Nub Club?
Talking about what's going on, what's happening.
Are they all in the Nub Club?
No. Mate, honestly, I'll tell you what happens after these games, right?
Yeah.
These groups start WhatsApp groups and they just become bitter and twisted.
Do they hate the editing, do they?
And they want to complain. And here's the thing, and this is why, Sats, Fletch, when I went into the show, I'm like, I'm just going to go in and have fun. Yeah. Because, mate, if you don't, you're not in the show. No. And these people, everyone that I try to play the game with, I tell them, I'm like, if you don't play, you're not going to be in it. And then the show comes out, they're in the background, you never see them, you never hear their name, you never hear their voice, and then they bitch and moan about not being in the show. I'm like, I gave you the chance. You could have made some moves. You didn't do 100%. Anything.
And then they're not on OnlyFans.
Yes,
exactly. It goes Summitt.
Feet Finder.
Then, and then Rank Cat Stories. That's the third one. That's the third.
He had another horrible story.
Did you boys hear the alien story?
Have a listen.
Yeah. No, I didn't, but Woogie got me on Sunday. I said, please clip it up.
Mate.
Has it been clipped?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Listen to this.
Can I tell you a funny story about aliens?
Oh, hang on.
And I was actually hoping that this would be in the show, but there was the night cameraman wasn't there when it happened. We were laying down. I was speaking to a couple of guys, and we're looking up at the sky, and we in like clearest sky you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And we could see all the satellites moving around, and we're talking. And mate, do you imagine if one of those is a spaceship? Blah blah blah. Anyway, in the middle of the night, Sharks is in his sleeping bag next to me, and we're in these little like cocoon things that keep us dry. He chips his tooth, and he has to call the medic over. And we'd been talking about aliens like all before we went to sleep. This is like at 2 a.m. I wake up, and there's someone with their head torch on, but it's got the 2 red lights above it.
Yep.
And I wake up, and all I can see is 2 looks like red beady eyes looking at me. I dead set thought the aliens had come. I thought, they're here.
Right, so they weren't in it?
They weren't. But I was like, they're here. They've come to take me.
Play the music.
What a great story, Rat.
Seriously.
What was the red eyes?
It was a head torch. You know, they have a red light on them instead of the white light so it doesn't blind you.
Were you high?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I mean, I was high on life, Fletch. I was, I was living it. It was good. It was amazing.
Speaking about high,
Lundy's got a new account for him.
Only cats. Speaking about being high, I've never seen so many people smoking pot out on the streets. Yeah.
What, Magic Round?
Magic Round.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
I wasn't
ins-
outside.
It was insane.
Was it?
Like, people just, like, coppers didn't care.
man.
No one else can, like, that's why we can never move it.
Yeah, oh, right, that's right.
Blokes were just walking down the street with potts points in their hands.
Well,
Wow.
what are you thinking about? Like, it's there till 2027. Has it become an event like the Melbourne Cup that can never move, like Magic Round?
I don't think it can, Rat. I was thinking about it. Where else can you have it? The access is brilliant.
Yep.
You got the stadium. You can walk everywhere.
It can't have
Yeah.
been Sydney.
You've
Never.
got enough hotels to spread around so you don't keep running into the same derricks.
Yeah.
Sydney couldn't cope. Well, Sydney could cope, but they wouldn't do it because our
too big.
licensing, our
You get
licensing
lost.
police are all A
Yeah,
grades.
yeah.
It'd get
Coppers
lost.
up there were into it.
Yep.
Mm.
Nah.
Yeah.
I
What
can't
about Melbourne? Could Melbourne do it?
Not really. We wouldn't be able to get in because we don't drink coffee.
Jack's milk.
Yeah.
We don't have scarves on.
That's just the place. That Caxton Street was pumping, wasn't it? Like that.
Weather. The weather's
The
Mickey.
weather.
Fletch,
Asylum.
I heard a whisper that you were getting carried down Caxton Street after your soiree you had with all the Reg Reagans. Is that right?
No, I wasn't getting carried, but we led them out.
Oh,
We
yeah.
led that's the final. That was the final shot. The Reg and Regina's. The girls got into it.
Did they?
A lot of girls
Of course.
dressed up as Regina, but that was the final shot as the sun was setting in the west.
What shocked
we were
me,
going in.
Fletch, is hearing you at the start of your show today saying it's taken me 50 years, but I think I'm there. I think I can't get through the like 2 or 3 days in a row.
No.
Yeah.
Is that right? So how were you on crunch time on Sunday? Were you a bit
Terrible.
dodgy?
Shocking.
I heard
Shocking.
Jimmy say you were struggling a little bit in that first
I
segment.
was struggling, and then I had to make up some excuse that I had to go somewhere.
You're good at that, are you?
But I tell you what, I really did. I just went back to my room, took sat my undies, ordered Super Bowl. It's called Super Bowl Chinese with the best combination chow mein I've ever had.
Were you loving it?
Oh, and it was dark.
Did you feel happy for a little
I
bit?
felt so happy. The air conditioning was pumping,
Yeah.
and I was watching the Warriors game.
Oh.
I had a giant bottle of Pasito.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I got ice brought up from downstairs. All I needed was I was going to get a foot massage afterwards, a Thai foot massage, but I couldn't get it. And I just laid there just to recover and think about, all the bad
Hey,
things
Fletch,
that
just
I've
looking on
done.
the TV, and it's a repeat of last night's show. The Gordy Tallis when you're eating up at heights.
Yeah,
That's fair income? Like he's
fair
just-
income.
Wow.
Fair
One
income.
of the
But I don't
toughest
like
human
heights
beings
myself.
ever. Yeah.
But he just doesn't like not being in control. I've worked him out.
yeah, right.
He's a control freak.
Is he?
Yeah,
If he doesn't control the narrative and or the environment or
What
the
about how
situation,
vulnerable he is? Look at his face. I'm just looking at it now.
terrified, isn't he?
mate, there's a story in the paper today. I think
Yeah.
someone picked it up when
Cave your
Gordon
head
turned
in.
around and said, mate, to Heine, he goes, mate, you do that again, I'm going to cave your head in. So they let that go to air, but I call him a coward, and I said, get in here, you big fat coward, and they beeped out fat coward. But let him say,
Cave your head in.
let everyone cave your head in. But that was scary. You know when Gordon's eyes roll back and he sticks his tongue out? When he sticks his tongue out, he goes, oh, sorry, Gordy.
I don't want to be anywhere near him when that's going on.
Nah.
Yep.
Well, boys, you have a great show.
Yeah, we will.
And Sharkies.
How
they're
good,
flying,
eh?
Rat.
How
They
good.
are flying. This
Yeah.
could be the year. This could be another year.
Could be.
Do you reckon this
do you think
time?
they're contenders? Do you think they're contenders?
I do now.
Yeah.
I do now for sure.
Joel?
Oh, you know what my theory is?
What?
I
You haven't had many injuries though, have you?
Oh,
Like
yeah, Dicko was
long
out
term.
last week.
No.
Yeah,
Nah,
but I mean
not
like
really.
long term.
But you got to have a bit of luck with that stuff, to
True.
win it.
I'm having a bet, right? I'm going to have a bet. What are you really gambling with? I'm going to have a bet on New South Wales to win the series,
Boom.
into the Sharks to win the comp. I think if Nico can steer them to a
Are you
victory for New
serious?
South Wales, yes. If he can steer them to victory, what that does for him come finals time, I reckon he can take them all the way. Thoughts?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I was sort of like my nervousness was the other way. That if he goes in and goes bad, that it sort of rattled him at the last experience.
Yep.
And if
Yeah.
it went the other way, like could he handle it? But I think I think the entire Sharks team's grown up a little bit over the last 12 months. Like they've experienced some adversity, some bad losses, and a lot of criticism in the media. And they go down to Melbourne and win. They win a tough game where 18-24. You sort of the Roosters sort of getting on top of them at the back end and at the half, and you thought, gee, they could go.
Ricky
on with it.
Schroeder's flying.
Oh, you know the other big news which we haven't spoken about. We have to go, but when players come out of show, Brian, hat-trick for Armstrong, Hazelton.
Yeah.
Well, Tim Nackey, he went on the boys' show, and now he's been bowled out in the nervous 90s.
No,
How sad was that?
Oh, it was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was horrible.
But he still took 500.
500 grand. Yeah, he's done all right.
Did he win?
Yeah, so he said, I'll play down to 500,000.
So did he win 500?
Yeah, his profit was 500.
Oh,
One half
so
a million still.
Oh,
yeah,
play
he's
on.
not zero.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He's
Oh,
still
well done.
smiling.
Yeah.
Don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
That's it.
How good's that, boys? As we say for this chat
I found
as well.
my funeral song too.
Oh, did you?
really? What is it?
Yeah, I found I'll play it. I was listening to it. We'll play it tomorrow.
Mine's going to be American Pie, so everyone's got to stay there for about half an hour. Good on you, boys.
Tomorrow.